Hey everyone, my name's Laura. This is my new channel. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to name it yet, but I'm new to YouTube, so I can't go live yet. So the more people that subscribe to my channel, the faster I'll be able to go live. What I'm going to start doing is sharing my story. I went through a dark night of the soul. Oh, my little baby's looking at me. Hold on, I'm trying to get a picture of him. Hold on, Betty. Hold on, Betty. Hold on. He's so cute. I recently got him. Someone left him with a friend of mine to take care of while he was gone for a couple of weeks, but he was gone for more like a couple of months, so I took him in the first day that he left him there because I didn't want him to sleep outside in the winter. But, ooh, there's some trucks way out there coming across the desert. Anyway, I love night hikes. And, it may be February 1st. This is the snow moon. Full moon tonight. I especially love to hike on a full moon. And for February, I don't even have a coat. I just have a couple of shirts on and I'm feeling very comfortable. So, it was a really nice day today. I don't know what that is in the left top hand corner of my screen. That's bizarre. Huh. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to share my story. And it's a very long story. I'm probably older than most of you, but I just turned 64. And I'm going to start at when I turned 58. When I started my second Saturn return, and I had a sister who started at the same time. But the thing of it is I have Saturn in Aquarius, and she has it in Capricorn. The thing of it is I have Capricorn and Aquarius, and both of those houses have stelliums in them, and they're both ruled by Saturn. So when Saturn went into Capricorn is when I started my Saturn return. And it started off like gangbusters, let me tell you. Started off, this was 2017. My dad died. And I had lost my significant other of 17 years. Pop, come here. Prior to this. And I went back to my family in Ohio. There's a lot of cars coming across the desert now. My dog's all over it. She's probably going to be taken off to meet him over by the road and chase him all the way out of here. Dang it. I got to catch her. Anyway, okay. So it started in 2017. Well, it actually started in 2015 when my fiance died. But we'll just go from there to my dad died. And my fiance died, then my dad died. And I went back to Ohio. And I did the flowers for the funeral. My sister and my cousin helped out. And, I just expected to be so much more torn up than I actually was. Wow, that's weird, because I don't have any cracks in the screen. It's a brand new phone. I don't know why it's got that fire up on the left-hand side. It looks like fire. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's kind of distracting. Pop! So is my dog. But anyway, let me continue with the story. My sister lived in Page, Arizona. And when my dad died, she got a bunch of money. Of course, she didn't tell me it was from his inheritance because my mother told me that all the money went to her. I didn't question anything. But then I was staying out at my brother's, and he had a $5,000 check and my dad's credit cards and all kinds of stuff, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, something weird's going on here. But I didn't really question it. It was always, there were always secrets in my family, and I really didn't care to know what they were. I mean, really, it sounds funny, but I really didn't care to know what those secrets were. Um, Probably because I knew it would be all over when I found out what all these secrets were about. Anyway, um, from there, I went to help out a friend of mine who has a flower shop down in Florida for the winter. And she had a really pretty shop, and I got carte blanche, so I was really happy there. And my sister called me and said she got everything together, and she's starting a flower shop in Page. And Page, Arizona is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And I always told myself that someday I was going to live there. I have always loved it there. Well, she said, come on up. You know, she wants to get the shop started and everything. And she never had a flower shop before. And neither did my friend Barbara. She worked in visuals when I knew, you know, before she got divorced from her husband. I got divorced from my husband, so we weren't sister-in-laws anymore. But it's funny how, and then when I went there, everyone kept confusing us. They kept calling me Barbara. You know, we were wearing uniforms, and we did look alike, but man, it was kind of weird. And anyway, so I went to Page after I was done at my friend's for the winter, which is perfect because I love the desert in the summer. Oh man, I'm like a lizard on a rock. I love that stuff. Anyway, I don't know how to turn my screen around. Wow, that thing is weird on my screen. Okay, so we I left oh, it was beautiful where I was staying too. I was staying on an island. It was called Matlacha, and it was close to where was I working? Oh, I can't remember. Not Lehigh Acres, but it's near Fort Myers. Anyway, it was, and I had a beautiful place to stay, and anyway, so I went to Page, Arizona from there. And it was a beautiful shop. And my sister knows how to buy. I mean, if there's one thing she can do, it's spend money. And let me tell you what. I mean, the vases she had, she went to every yard sale, every thrift store between Texas and Ohio and Arizona and and New Mexico. Just everywhere on this buying sprees. And the stuff she had was like just top notch. And it worked out really good because we got 3 accounts. One, we started with a restaurant doing all the tables every week. And then we got Waweep, which is a resort hotel. I think they're probably like a 4-star hotel. And then we got Amigiri, which was a 5-star hotel out in the middle of the desert. And it was a minimalist hotel. Oh my gosh. I am the best at minimalist. I do minimalist so well. No, Augie, no. And, I mean, she found an old rusted drum out near some railroad tracks in California. And we made this, I made this beautiful arrangement in it. And a bunch of stuff out of the desert. At first, she was telling me, no, you can't use stuff out of the desert. It looks like you just went out and got a bunch of stuff from the desert and made that. And I said, but Marcy, it's absolutely stunning. And people come out here because they love the desert. And she's like, no, you can't use it. And, you know, every time she turned her back, I was putting, come here, pup. Come on, girl. Come here, pup. Come on. You want a treat? Anyway, I was putting stuff from the desert in it, and she started getting a lot of compliments. Turns out she was telling everyone that she was making the arrangements. And she didn't want any desert stuff in them because, you know, if she was taking credit for it, she didn't want anyone to say anything bad about it, you know. Anyway, I was a floral designer for like 37 years. And she had never worked, well, she worked in a flower shop for 6 months. I think she was a delivery driver. Anyway, I went to Paige, and the shop was stunning. But then she started being really mean to me. I mean, just really nasty to me. And I didn't like the way she was treating me. So I left. And I went back to Ohio. And she got really upset. And it took about 3 more months until she talked me into going back out there. She couldn't do the work for the 2 large hotels. She just, when I was gone, she just did the restaurant tables. Anyway, when I got back out there, she said, "Okay, I've got a place where you can stay," because I was staying with her and it was just not happening. So it was a trailer in a trailer park. It was, they called it the ghetto. And it was a dive, but I fixed it up really cute, and I really liked it. And I made a fence, and I went collecting in the desert a lot. But whenever she wanted me to go someplace with her, and I said no, she would get all offended, and she would just keep asking and just keep pushing. And she always wanted to monopolize every moment of my time. I would work 12 hours with her all day, and she would want me to go somewhere after work with her. And I'm just like, no, And every time I set a boundary, she would even push harder to break that boundary. I had no idea about narcissists at the time, but that was spring. Fast forward to Christmas. I think I had 7 arrangements for Amigiri, all starting at $400 and going up to like $750. And I stayed up all night making them, and she went home, as she always did, because she never did any of the work. I mean, really, she would make an arrangement or two. She would have her son and his new wife come in and help at there, and then she had her husband, like, doing the books once in a while. Turns out they were all on the payroll, and I was the only one not on the payroll. She told me that she wasn't making any money, she couldn't afford this and that, and oh, this bill came up and that bill came up, and oh, the water heater broke, and turns out all that was a lie. And she was paying them and herself, but she wasn't paying me, and I was the one doing all the work. I loved the job so much, I didn't really care. But when I read about destiny swapping, and I realized she was taking credit for all of my work, and then she would sit there and pick it apart. I mean, I would make all these beautiful arrangements. The next morning, she came in and I had all these arrangements done. And she's like, "Oh, look at this. You can't send it out like this. And oh, look at this. You can't do this." And I'm like, "Marcy, I can do whatever I want. It's called art. It's art. There's no rules to how I do something. If it's going to hold up, and I know what I'm doing, obviously. So, No, she sat there screaming everything. Her mask fell off, and I saw how hideously ugly she was. And this has been going on our whole lives, She's 57, she's 58, and I was 59 by that time. And I'm telling you, her husband, same thing. Oh my God. I don't know if you've been around a narcissist when they snap and the inside of them shows on the outside. It's not the facade that they put on, the smile or the smirk or the whatever, and the perfect veneer that they have. It's when all that goes away and they show what they really are. And it's like, it's almost like they grow talons and beaks and just, it's hideous. It really is just like that. And I freaked out, and I realized I saw a video on narcissists and narcissism and NPD, and I realized that's what they were, and then I started going back over every instance I was ever around them, and I saw all the things that they had been doing to me, and all the things, the triangulation and the manipulation and the the love bombing and the future faking. Oh, when we get this done, then we'll have jet skis and we'll all go out and do this and that. And, you know, she had 2 jet skis already. And every time we went out, I never got to turn on the jet skis. All I did was collect a bunch of stuff that we needed for work, you know. I was always working and she was always having fun. And that's how it always went down. And I was the only one not getting paid. So I quit that morning when I saw their masks slip. Oh my God, it was hideous. And I quit that morning, and she hired someone, and she tried to keep it afloat for a couple of months, and then she had to beg out because she obviously could not do any of the work that I was putting out. People got accustomed to a certain style and there's no replicating my work. There never will be. And if you know anything, and this is the truth, everything she made, she had to look at a picture first. And then when she made it, it looked exactly like the picture. She wouldn't use any flour that had a malformity of any kind. Whereas if I saw a flower that was bent or wasn't growing straight and just had this really weird angle to it, I would use that as the focal point, you know? And I would create around that. That's what I like doing, you know? That's creativity. Well, everything she made looked like it was 2D. It didn't even look 3D. It looked 2D. And I'm not kidding you. It was amazing how she could make it flat, you know? I mean, like there was no depth to it whatsoever. It was weird. And I always wondered about that. And she would ask my opinion on things. And I would tell her my opinion, and she'd do it her way anyway. You know, and that is another typical thing that narcissists always do. And I started seeing all these things, and it really started to blow me away. And I'm thinking, do they all go to the same school? I mean, they use the same exact tactics. They have no empathy for others. They have no remorse for the horrible things that they do to other people. And she's been doing it to me my whole life. You know, every time that I would be around her, I would leave, and I usually it was 5 years before I'd talk to her again, because she was always throwing me under the bus. One time when I was out in Page, no, Augie, stay. Pop, come here. Come on, Pop. Anyway, one time when I was out there, I was doing this repetitive work, and I tore the ligaments from my breastbone, and I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was dying. I really thought I was dying. I was writing notes to my kids, and I was in severe pain. And she came and took me to the hospital, and I heard her tell the doctor behind my back, she's a drug addict. Don't give her any medications for pain. I'm just like, what? She is so manipulative and so spiteful and so mean and so nasty. And her husband had a sister. Her name was Judy. She's dead now. They were actually beating her. And she was like me. She's just, we don't see it for what it really is. Oh no, he was just, he was in a bad mood and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Always making excuses for these evil bastards. Anyway, a lot of us tend to get cancer and fibromyalgia. We get diabetes, things like that. It's because we're under severe stress at all times. We're always walking on eggshells. Our nervous system is completely thrown out of whack. When you live with someone who is a narcissist your whole life, your body doesn't fare well not to mention, your brain gets cross-wired. If you are around this kind of behavior as a young child and you have been betrayed over and over and over again, your brain gets cross-wired, so you when you see someone and they remind you of your dad, and your dad was a narcissist and horribly abusive, then you think it's familiar, so it's safe. But no, it's not safe. He's an evil narcissist just like your father was, and he's going to treat you just as bad. You're just going through the love stage, the love bombing stage right now. You know? It's... And I'm going to break all this down. I'm going to explain it to you. Oh, are you stuck? Yeah, good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Here, I'll get you unstuck. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Augie, wait. No, get down. Get down. Okay, over here. There. Over here. No, up here. Not my chair. Up here. Up here. Good boy. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to break it all down for you guys. But I quit. I had a boyfriend at the time that I met while I was there. And this is a weird thing because I was taking, we did this huge moon arch. It was like $5,000, and the guy only kept it for 3 hours, and then we had to come back and pick it up. He was using it to propose to his fiance. And anyway, so we had all these extra roses. Like, we had 1,000 white roses. And so I started giving them away to my friends, and I took some to one friend's house. And she said, oh, this is my friend Tim. And she introduced me to him, and I glanced in his direction, and I got this electric shock from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. And it was like an earthquake. I looked around waiting to see if anyone was going to say, did you feel that? Did you feel that? But no one did, and I realized that I was the only one that felt it. So I went running out of there. And about 2 weeks later, I realized he lived across the street from me with his brother cousin. He's Navajo, so you know, it's his cousin, but they call him brother. Anyway, so it's their custom. Trying to light my cigarette now. Okay. Oops. I'm still trying to figure out how to turn my phone around. Oh, wait. Is that it up there? I still can't figure out how to turn my phone around. Oh, that's the light. Huh. That's weird. Maybe this is it. Nope. Huh. Oh well. On the next video, I'll have it turned around. Maybe I will just leave it at this, an introduction. I have a feeling you guys are going to be blown away by this story. It's about to get real good. It's about to get real good. I'm going to put some more logs on the fire and get right back to it. This will be part 1, and the other will be part 2. Anyways, if you guys could give me a like, I'd appreciate it. I really would like to get enough subscribers so I can go live. I do have a feeling you're going to be having questions, so anyway, I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks, guys, for watching.